not in. It's going to be a whole different lobby, essentially, to close today.
Let's queue them up then, back at home, whilst we've got a few seconds blank. Big changes to look out for, notable squads that are coming in off the back of the group swap once we get into the playing path.
So obviously yesterday we had Group Green in, but today we'll have Group Yellow rejoining us. So that's Boom, Kagasaka, DRX, IW, NRX, Alpha 7, which is the big one. That is the big one. It'll be the Brazilian boys versus one another in Team Liquid and Alpha 7, trying to challenge for who's on top on that side. And currently Alpha 7's looking fairly nice in terms of their point scoring off yesterday. Team Liquid not too far behind, but not quite as impressive at 37 points. Moneymakers back in. Honestly, they were a surprise. And I was talking to some of them in the elevator. In fact, I got a very brief conversation, but they were saying that it's a whole different ballpark playing here in the international tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And I was saying, look, you guys seemed a lot more aggressive in EMEA. And they were saying, well, EMEA is very different to an international scene. We've got to play more passive. We can't be taking these aggressive plays all the time. So it would be nice to see Moneymakers make it into that top 12.
And remember, you can't talk about the best in the business, that #1, without having your mind instantly jump to the GT20 Pro Blank. That device that will get you playing out of your mind. You want to play like you do Alliance? That's probably the way to go, but that screen is going to get you dialed in quick.
But yeah, if you don't want the phone, you do you, man. But you got to know that UDO does use this phone.
Oh, yeah. They do indeed.
If you want to outplay the rest, you got to play with the best with the GT20 Pro. But we do have our teams on our map at the moment, all dropped in, circle down towards the southwest. Team Liquid losing a player in chief to Tongji About. Only we'll take him out there. What an unfortunate start. Again, it feels like Team Liquid's constantly playing with 3 players.
Man, it's been happening time and time again. I think you really have cursed them with that #1 spot prediction, but it's unfortunate. You know, Team Liquid liquidated. They've been put into the TJB banded blender and turned to a pulp to start that one off. So down to a 3 immediately. Same side of the coin for either one of them, though. That's 3 players alive for either squad there.
And dropping in with 3, potentially. I'm not sure, because I don't see another elimination on the board. Curious start to the day. Alpha 7 over on our eastern side. Kampong Lakawi split. I like this one. It's a very aggressive split, in fact, I would say. Because usually you would have a team in Kampong that might switch up over towards the Kawi. You look over that ridge side, you get an easy pick off from the players. But I do think that if anyone can do it, it would be Alpha 7 for me, that would be able to make that hold in that position. Every single one of those players is fairly confident with how each other players can respond to those threats. But we do have Inko on our screen, creeping up over towards the Mad Bulls, hoping to shake the boat for them a little bit with this nade.
Oh, that's a perfect 3-pointer. Money ball coming out for Inko instantly. Straight through the window onto Tulika. Looks to confirm that one, and it's done. I mean, there's a nice bounce back with an A, but it's going to go wide. Fleetcase looking to try pick up the response, but he's got out blank. He's already dipped back.
I mean, the response time was horrible on that. Fleetcase didn't even try and help his boy in Tulika. I understand the rest of his team's not there, but it seems like it was just one assailant. Vehicle comes through, though, will flatten him.
Okay, the Bonnet getting some splattering-based action in to kick this one off then. We told you it was going to be a bit of a spicy day, and off the back of the drops, it's going that way. Elevated angle going to be utilized. You've got a nice spread here between the 2 sides that are locked into this encounter. Inko looking to play with the elevation. Now balls clear around towards the wayside. Few bullets coming in downrange.
Trying to cut him off the angle there on the rock. Zerich, low HP, no meds to be spoken of, and 1 nade to change things around. But it's English who gets taken on from behind. Vitali, a great angle he's been holding. Swooped right towards the backside of this team. And they lost a player, but it's feeling like Inko should get a full reset on this one.
Here's your elevated peak. Up on top of the roof. He's putting bullets down, keeping him guessing. So you plant the seeds of doubt in his mind, allowing the rest of Inko to start to close the gap. But you've got to be thinking about going for that pickup as well. Bit of a bleed out occurring. So time is going to usher them slightly further forward. But they don't want to overcommit on the fight to Fleeke. Throw any of the edge that they've got away here. You take a few pot shots. No one over engages yet. But time's getting pretty close on this.
Yeah, Nunez desperately wants to get in here. That's a nice nade sent over the top, actually. I really like that. Followed up with the immediate push. Yes, You'll take a frag off the back of it, but getting the Nebete back up on his feet might be quite difficult now, so the teams will have to respond quickly, but Zerich is not making this easy.
Oh, Zerich going in. So much damage off the back of the engagement. Clears onto the first. They're quite low as well. There could be a build from it, but no. Back in the line. They shut down the Mad Balls. Oh, mate.
Oh, dude. He was on it.
He was on it. It felt like he had him. He's gone.
I think he's pulled off the res there because I'm pretty sure he started it, but that wasn't a case where you could fumble. Oh, and then I bet he's got to be furious on that one.
Oh, bro, that could have been the full reset. Fix things up just at the last second.
Yeah, it was a really good fight from Inco as well to hold that one down. A lot of very smart plays too coming out there. Can see why this is an international lobby too. We got our circle over to that west side we talked about earlier, but not very decided on where this one's going to end up. Very much those annoying circles where could head northwest, southwest, or east, and every single one of those is cut in between by the rivers.
That's where those bridges could be far more awkward, the choke points that will really force your hand in some of these engagements. That was a nice little opener, a little tipple to get us started, mate. Some aggression to kick things off, some encounters that potentially have benefits for others, whereas definitely negatives for some. Liquid will be frustrated with losing one man off the back of that opener. And Mad Balls, you just got to sit on the wayside now to kick off the day. So rather than getting the energy out there, warming up a bit, setting your pace of the day in terms of your play, you just got to watch, Blank.
Yeah, I mean, Mad Balls coming off yesterday with 24 points was really not ideal. Some very unfortunate exchanges there. We talked about the fact that, you know, Leon's basically ruined the entirety of the day for Mad Balls. They could have had a big game. This could have easily been a game where they had another extra 10 points sat on board, but picked them apart there. So going out early in Sandhawk, yes, it's one of our more unreliable maps in terms of picking up points, but still, going out this early without even confirming the flush, that's tough. I think they do get one elimination off Nenebete, but that is it. 25 points is not where you want to be. It's Vampire Esports, though. 16th place currently, 26 points. Now, if you all remember correctly, Vampire Esports are the comeback kings.
Yeah.
Let's be honest with you. PMGC, very much down and out. Satani goes to me. Yeah, we're not done. Probably at least a top 8 for us, actually. And they were very far down the tables. They finished that final day, 8th place. Whew. I think that was a good result.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
in the top 8, and I was pleased for them. I was very, very pleased for them. So I do think that we can't count Vampire Esports out just yet. We'll have to leave that one up to Jukes and John when we hit the halfway mark on the day.
See how the storyline develops there. 6 beautiful games to rattle our way through today. Keep you guessing. Keep you seeing what the overall play is going to be. You can see the teams making their move down, though, towards the new zone. Blank making their move over and crossing those bridges.
And it's a good shift for a lot of teams because before, as I was saying, wasn't really decided on where it wants to go, but with such a hard shift down towards the southwest side, we know this is going to be ending up around about Tambang Ruins, Nakamwe, right? So I think for a lot of teams, they're happy with this one. Specifically, Inco, off the back of that fight with Mad Balls, yes, they're down to 3 players, but they've carved out a huge amount of space. Like, the entirety of the western coast is sort of free here for them from Sami up to Tambang. So for Inco, they can play on side and just wait for that massive amount of traffic jam over on the eastern edge to build up and teams fight it out. So they should have a pretty good guaranteed position towards the top side of the lobby. Harami, bro, bad time. Bad times for Harami, bro.
Yeah, the bros are right now looking at each other and saying, bro, what is happening?
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
It's not great. Currently down in 18 points after their initial innings yesterday. I think they had some good moments, but in my mind, it's just they're not where they need to be right now.
I think the issue we saw yesterday is that the misplays outweigh the benefit of when they did have those highlight moments, right? There was a few instances where they definitely could have set themselves up for late game, play off the circle, and they kind of got overzealous with their rotates, and it just came back to haunt them through and through. So yeah, you got to resolve those issues before you worry too much about anything else. But have a look at this, up on the hillside, Vampire Esports. They got that gold emblem, and they're looking to go bold when they push out on the engagement. Chip damage going across, you're getting the knocks in. engaging. Nades are soaring over the sky. It's a ridge angle to fight up as well. Trying to close the gap now, but you're just eating shrapnel as that one's going to land on Koa and start to thin the herd.
Seems like it was foretold that these guys would be taking a bit of a comeback here, but Bishke's not been spotted. This is awkward. There it is. He goes. We'll be leaving behind the bark of the tree. I'm feeling the bark of bullets there coming through from Newsy. Nice to see this guy in and performing. Always been a big fan of this dude. Vampire Esports should be picking themselves up 2 solid eliminations. And the Moneymakers, who are a big fan of this map as well, will be heading on with just 2 here. This is very far on the eastern side of the map, not quite out the blue just yet.
No, you got a whole drive ahead of you to get back into that safety net. An unfortunate way to start things off for them. We got the look back onto what occurred with Bro as well when TJB played it perfect with the cover, the old pop-up surprise, hit him with a Jackbox play.
Yeah, it really was, but they weren't looking like clowns when they jumped out that box. They were looking like absolute eliminators, so very nice to see from Tongjiabao. Not a bad team by any stretch of the word. I mean, 39 points right now. They're doing well. They are doing very, very well. So our PEL representatives came to this one, heard a lot of the banter about China not being as strong anymore, and have just annihilated this lobby. Tiamba definitely up towards that top side. QZ with his nose in his phone. I don't know how he sees anything, but he seems to see everything when he's playing the game.
Hey man, you can't deny he's been getting results from it, so fair enough. Works out well. Oh. Cheeky rotate on a move there, Moneymakers, as they were forced to just bail out. They know their main focus is just getting somewhere safe to try and take care of themselves and reset. Limited time to scavenge much loot to work with as well. So you're going from bad to worse and consistently under a lot of pressure here, close towards Liquid's location.
Yeah, because Painan becomes a real focal point here. Now, Moneymakers actually have played a lot in Painan in the past. It's one of their drop spots that they head over to quite early in the game. Falcons, though, dropping out the vehicle, losing one. This is the Kogasaka, a team that just really hasn't impressed overall, but we expect more from the Falcons, dude. Don't lose this fight, man.
Oh dear. I mean, there is room for the trade and maybe a bit of a bigger play off the back of it as well, as Top turns the tides when they come running back in. It looked like they had set themselves up for that. That was the Osaka gut punch. Now you're just taking hits from all over the shop. Other teams getting involved in, well, keeping the issues going. How do you even build back from this? Man's got a DBS. Whole squad's gone down. You felt like you had control of the compound. Falcons have reset from it, and they've got the nades to play off. I don't know about this one, bro.
That should be a nice nade. Doesn't go far enough. Kogasaka looking for the DBS through the window. Oh, gets top on the jump shot, but will be shut down pretty instantaneously. So Falcons live on with the 3. Top takes 2 of those eliminations. Icy on the lookout, though. Playing overlook for the rest of the team, ensuring there's no rotations coming through. But yeah, this is quite a pleasant part of the map. If you're a team like DRX currently holding some of these compounds on the outside, Inco as well, these are the type of positions that can win you games. If you can live in Painan, though, if you can hold out in Painan, you know, there's a lot to be said about that spot. It just gives you so much protection. The issue is that it can field a lot of teams. So yes, a little bit of a squeeze in that spot of the map. If you're okay with that, if you like to go on the underground in London, you'll be fine.
Mind the gap, because there isn't many of them. You got to squeeze yourself in like sardines. And I suppose here's the benefit, right? You know, I feel like Falcons might have gone down in that engagement if Max Man was in the building, but there's no Max in the building. So there's no curses floating around.
There's no curse. There's no curse.
That's what I mean, bro. Maybe this is how they do find a bit of a way back into it. You can slow it down.
He's on his way, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, I hope they better win this game quick then.
I do interact. Now, there was a curious thing just in the terms of the body language. Talk about the circle in a sec.
Hey,
nice shot from Top there. I mean, Top was one of the sickest players in the game for a long, long time. Looked like he could take on the whole lobby on his lonesome, but since PMGC, I think it's really hurt them. In terms of not winning twice in a row where it felt like it should have been theirs. We predicted them every single time as well. Like, look, man, this should be your fight to win. But that's just what happens if you lose enough, where there's so much pressure on you that people are saying, I don't know how you lost, you should have won. It's getting a second place and a fourth place, which is not bad.
Yeah.
In a tournament with prestige like PMGC, it's just rough. It is very, very rough. But hopefully the hunger is still there. Anyway, as I was saying, over on the wet eastern side, we do get a Painan finish. This does become a huge point of contention. IWNRX, Swain hits one, doesn't win the second trade though.
Oh, bro, this is going to get a bit rough now. Okay, so Falcons, they went for the two-player peak, trying to make him make a snap decision on which player to prioritize. They barely lived their way through it, but Icy, cold in the veins, able to keep himself composed, can get the rest of Falcons back on their feet and try and see if they can build from it. But pressure will continue to mount with the squads that are close by. Boomer on the move as well. You've got Alpha 7s rotate up on screens. Meanwhile, TJB getting stuck into the fight with Inco and putting the pressure back there.
Yeah, Alpha 7 were very close to Inco for quite some time, and they sort of just let each other be at bay, essentially. And Alpha 7 rotates down towards that south side, picks himself up a compound. I don't mind it. Boom, though, up close and personal of IWNRX. There's still a player down, knocked. This is a tough fight. Zed Wolf close, though.
Oh, boom. They want to bring the punch straight to him. The DBS is pulled back out, the clap on response though, and issues are being found. The bonnet action in response, clean crew action with the shotty as they make that one look relatively easy. They can still fix the issues of the damage done. Moving forward back into the zone now.
Oh dear me, Alpha 7. This is classic behavior from this team. You rock up, the team's gone before you see it, flashes before your eyes. The Alphas back in action. Started on day one, but they're here to clean things out in day 3. Team Liquid, though, still holding on, and they have the outside track here. They're on the south side of Painan. They hold the crossing. They just need to hold strong. But again, so much more difficult without the sightlines. And you need those sightlines in Painan. Losing a player early might just be the thing that hurts them the most here.
And this is a rough one for Talon. They saw Boom coming down the hill. They take the fight towards them. They try and dip back in for the hill, but Al Haji from Power had an angle to confirm onto that one. So Talon are now gone in their defensive maneuver. In the back line, it's IHC starting to move on up as well. They've spotted a way to peek around this rock. You've got a throw of nades coming back to try and blow away their pathway. Meanwhile, Alpha 7 still getting stuck into the fight as well from the side and keeping the pressure applied from all angles. There's no easy way out for them. Hey, this is becoming hellish.
I mean, DRX getting rinsed like dirty dishes here from IHC. Quick switch back to the side. They spot Boom out in the distance. Tough rotation for a lot of teams on the northwest edge. I think Frenzy's just about done here. Yeah, Razy does go down. And IHC will remove Boom from the equation. Power, Falcons did make their rotate in towards this location. A 2-3-man team defending against the world right now.
Falcons, can they soar in this engagement? They're taking the initial shots. They're trying to keep that pressure on. Don't allow Power to peak and feel like they're comfortable. But look at this man, Al Haji, moving through the building, trying to lay low, see if he can crouch in and make the right play when he goes for the pounce. You got the shots round the corner from Nurzed. Icy with a follow-up nade as well. Top comes in on the DBS and starts to cause issues up close and personal. Power, they've been switched off.
Cut the cable on that one. Falcons up to a staggering 8 eliminations on the match. Fielding Nurzed as well, which I like to see. Bringing the boy back in. He's an incredible player. And he's proving it right now with the rest of the squad. Saw them in some pretty heated discussions backstage, talking out their strategy. Looks like that's paid off now for the Falcons.
Survival of the fittest, and they're looking strong at the minute, racking up some points and still keeping themselves in good standing with the overall split and battle of attrition. But it's not about numbers, it's about the circle blank. Look at the shift we've got.
That is a nasty shift for a lot of squads to play around with. Moving away from Painan, where that was basically the safety net for so many teams. They'll have to push out into fairly open ground. Now, most squads will want to try and pick up as many points from Painan before they leave because they know that crossing is going to be tough. Yes, they'll be moving out into forested zone, which might give them some cover. Nice shots from Mythic, but what is the movement?
Oh.
He's got the movement.
Oh, mate, he's slipping all over the shop. Got the slippers on and really won't stop for anyone. Doesn't give a damn. Banana peel under the feet. He's easy with it. And that throws Liquid off. Makes it uncomfortable in the fight. You get a few shots back into him. Take one down. Oh, here we go. Icy on the move, though. Falcons, they've been surviving on borrowed time for quite a while. They're trying to spread themselves out on the jump across, but top has no cover, and they're taking bullets from all sides. IHC are up on the hill as well, and they are just pumping shots towards them.
Your Vampires as well chiming in, but there is some shot backs from Team Liquid. They've managed to bring this one back together as Cardozin hits the shot over towards Falcons, who are currently being harassed by IHC up the hill. And now they make their move out. But Godless already here, waiting for them. And this is such a tough push. Nade, though.
That could be filthy. Oh, bounces off the bark of the tree, barely surviving there. Gonna give him a little bit of leeway. That one's clean, though. Half HP ripped off him. Molotov heating things up in this engagement as well. Look at the nade on Alpha 7. Oh, that's a huge one. Blows him out of commission, and the pressure is now being applied. Liquid look to close the gap. Alpha 7 up close with the shot. He clapped back instantly, but you've got a barrage of nades being thrown in. You've got to try and play medic, make the right decision on this one. See if the nades will buy enough time for it, but they're pushing up. They've got the side angle. That's a nice connection on the first as well. Drops him to half HP. He knows he can get in and go aggressive on it, Blank.
Ayala's got to go crazy in this moment, play around the smoke, being ethereal here. Cannot hit the S12K shots, runs out of ammo. Brazilian on Brazilian action here. And Alpha 7 goes down, quickly mopped up by the IHC crew. And now the battle between the rocks and the compound, which is sturdier.
Man, these nades, teaching everyone a lesson right now. Godless with the holy hand grenades, blowing everyone away and causing issues inside the battleground. And now it goes down to this, IHC versus TGB. You got the angle set up, playing off those different positions. IHC have been looking kind of mean in some of these fights, Blank. Both squads looking relatively evenly matched inside of this opening game of the day.
Alula, IHC open things up with an 11 elimination game. But it's TJB that's got to come to them as the circle moves up towards the north side. Can they handle a push like this? The geometry here, fantastic. But already, Flower down from TJB, a bad nade and a bad miss.
Oh, it's going to make it more awkward. Pressure potentially getting to them, and the zone nipping at their heels. Look at the position you've got to play with. It's so uncomfortable. There's basically nothing they can do from this spot, and IHC damn well know it. As they go running on in, and IHC kick off the day with chicken dinner.
15 limbs there. To finish things off, Alula IHC, what a game from them. Topping the charts right now, 66 points after that match.